Hello, hello. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Occult Raven. I'm Kendra. Let me get adjusted. I have been on a little bit of a hiatus. I haven't been around for about a week and a half, and that is because I've been getting myself prepared for the winter solstice. And my tea. But, and I have my tea here. Please excuse my voice. I am very stuffy. I probably don't look so great, but nonetheless, I'm coming to you guys with a quick video on candle magic. Yes, candle magic. There is always a bit of a buzz surrounding candle magic, very specifically during this time when it gets chilly outside. The winter solstice is approaching, and rightfully so, because naturally we are all looking for warmth. It does not matter what part of the world you are in. When the winter solstice approaches, it gets chilly. It tends to get chilly, right? So if you are in metaphysical teachings, or if you are an occult practitioner, witch, warlock, spiritual, person on your path, on your, whatever it is that you would like to call it, it is all magical practices. If you are new to my channel, that's what I talk about. I am an occult practitioner. So everything that I talk about, everything that I bring to you guys, it is something that I have done and I've been successful in, or something that I do and I am currently successful in. If I talk about it and it did not work for me, I will let you know this did not work for me. However, that does not mean it is not going to work for you, okay? Be a practitioner, be the magician in your life, okay? So again, this is going to be, I'm reaching for my notes. So this is going to be a two-part on candle magic. This first part, and I have my notes because I don't want to get off topic and I don't want this to run on. This first video in the candle magic series will be specifically talking about fire. And it's funny that I'm calling it candle magic on this video, because really I don't. I call it candle magic, or I call it fire magic. And that's because, number one, I'm an old school witch. Number two, fire magic is actually an entire system, right? It's an entire system of magical workings, and candle magic out of that is just a small portion of what fire magic is. It's an element of what fire magic is. Okay, so again, this video will be very specifically talking about fire, because I hear a lot of people talking about candle magic and not really deep diving very specifically into fire and why it works so well in the use of magic. Okay, people think that they're dealing with the candle. You are not dealing with the candle. You are very specifically dealing with fire, the fire element. Back in the day, and I love to say back in the day because I don't want to lie and give in such and such AD, I'm not going to do that. But during times of antiquity, you get me, okay? The use of fire was very prevalent in communities, and fire magic was used when people dug fire pits, fire ditches, okay? You will also hear in some magical communities, or people who do magic, you will hear circle of fire. And circle of fire pertains to those communities of people that would practice magic, and they use fire pits during this, okay? So again, candle magic is a contained element of fire magic. Fire magic is an entire system. You can do all kinds of things with fire as it pertains to magic, and it does not solely have to do with the use of a candle, okay? So deep diving into this thing, we won't make this long and drawn out, and I actually have my notes so I don't do that. So very specifically, the winter solstice and fire magic. I keep saying fire magic because I don't really say candle magic, but I'll try. So the winter solstice and fire magic, as it deals with candles specifically, becomes very prevalent because, you know, we use these things. We use fire when it gets chilly. If you think about from Halloween, pretty much, and I'm just giving that Halloween and not the month of October as an example, because very specifically, candles are used to illuminate pumpkins, right? I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, Halloween was a celebration. It was a big deal in our home. And when you carved your pumpkin, you dug out the inside, you know, you would put a candle in that pumpkin to illuminate the pumpkin, right? That brought forth you could see the actual face of the pumpkin that you carved, all right? It brought the spirit out of whatever it is that you were putting into that pumpkin. It would be a happy face, you know, a frowny face, mean eyes, happy eyes, whatever it is. It illuminated that emotion in that pumpkin, okay? So, again, a very spiritual thing. We're talking about energies here, right? If you didn't celebrate Halloween, then you still know the hell I'm talking about. People used to put the candle inside the pumpkin, right? Moving into, you know, the months of November, December, especially January, the new year, you know, things are illuminated. Definitely, there are candles everywhere. If you go to any restaurants definitely during October or during December and January months, these restaurants have candles lit everywhere, on the tables, on the top shelves, around the, you know, the bars. So this is to invoke a spirit of warmth. It makes you want to stay, right, and buy. It's about spending coins when we're dealing with commercial things like that. Even if you go into department stores, I was just out, and I forget what, it might have been like Nordstrom's, something like that. But they have the electric votives, the electric candles everywhere, and I'm like, oh, okay. On all of the displays. So it gives you a sense of warmth. It makes you want to stay, okay? It feels homey. So, you know, and as it should, fire is a life sustainer, okay? We migrate towards the warmth, very specifically when it gets chilly outside. So, again, I won't make this long and drawn out, so let's jump right in. So, again, when I hear people talk about fire magic and specifically candles coming out of that magic, you know, it's like skimmed over that fire is the most important thing. I hear people talk about the color of the candle, what kind of candle to use during the waning moon or the waxing moon, during the day or the night, but no one deep dives into this powerful element of fire. What you have to know is that is the tool that you are very specifically working with, okay? If you're doing a money ritual, if you are doing a love spell, you know, people get caught up in these colors. Oh, I don't have a red candle. You know what I mean? So is my love spell going to work? I don't have a pink candle. You know, is my love spell going to work? And while your intention surrounding the color is important, you know, you have to understand that the most important part is the flame, your intention on the fire, your understanding of how that fire is built. And you really, and this may sound cliche, you really becoming one with the flame. That's what you're doing. The candle don't know what to do, okay? Yes, you cleanse your candle, you know, you put your energy on the candle. After that, you are to invoke the flame of that candle, okay? Not the wax, right? Not the wax. That is just the tool that the fire or the flame uses to speak through, okay? So, I'm going to tell you the chemical makeup of fire because this, again, goes over people's heads. You need to know this and understand this. Fire, what is fire? It is methane, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water. It is the chemical makeup, right? Know this. study it a little bit. I'm not going to go deep into it. I started my candle magic years ago, and I did go deep into it. And it was a very scientific thing for me because I wanted to know, what is fire? How is it made? Is fire actually what I think it is? And it definitely was not. And for a lot of people, you know, we think when we strike that match, you know, which is what you should be doing as a true practitioner in magical workings in your candle magic. I have found, because again, I've been doing candle magic for quite some time, I have found that striking your match as opposed to lighting a lighter is the best way to invoke the spirit of fire. Okay, fire is an element, therefore it has an energy, a spirit behind it, right? So and I'll get into that quickly, why you know, using lighting a match as opposed to using a lighter. Or I've seen people burn incense sticks and honey light their candles. I'm like, what are you doing? So, okay. So going, you know, back to an understanding of fire, an experiment that I like to tell people to do is, it's fun, right? We want to become one with the flame. You want to understand fire. You want to learn how to petition fire, because that's what you're doing when you are in fire magic, specifically using a candle, right? That is just a containment of fire magic, and you are looking to petition that flame. You are not petitioning the wax. You are not petitioning whatever, you know, people you know, put all types of herbs. And I do also, you know, you anoint your candle. Those are just aids. They are just aids in your intention, right? But what you are petitioning is the flame, the fire, right? That's the biggest thing we're talking about here. So in you know, lighting your candle, striking your match and lighting your candle, learning how to speak to your candle, start to, and I don't want to say play with fire, okay? I hope we are all, if you are on my channel, I hope that you are taking this very seriously, not taking yourself too seriously, but because I don't, but I take my practice serious, especially when I'm working with fire, because people have lit their homes on fire. People have lit adjacent buildings on fire. People have lit themselves on fire, right? Strike your match, put your head down for a second, your hair, poof, okay? It is easy to do this when you are not being serious about what it is that you're doing. You are using a very intense element of nature. Fire is a life sustainer. However, fire is also a life destroyer when you do not understand what you are doing. If you have any issues, if you don't know how to be safe when using a candle, if you don't know how to be safe when using a match, okay, stop, Google how to be safe when using a candle and a match, okay? Be very clear about this, guys. So what you want to do for this very short experiment, what you want to do is get your candle, get your match, and get a spoon. Yes, a spoon. One that will not melt. Don't get no plastic spoon, okay? Get a, whatever kind of utensil it is that you eat with, metal or silver, copper, you know, get that. So what you want to do is strike your match. When you strike your match, I want you to, you know, envision almost like you are, you have to picture this, because again, visualization goes hand in hand with candle magic, okay? So I want you to visualize that you are literally bringing forth that fire. It is you, your energy, that is sparking that fire, okay? When you strike your match, there is a puff of soot. There is black smoke that comes off of that match. There is a spirit behind that soot, right? Because even when people, you know, do candle magic, ritual ceremonies, you can read the soot from the fire. Again, you are not reading the soot from the wax. You are not reading the soot from the wick. You are reading the soot of the fire, okay? So when you strike your match and that soot or that black smoke basically comes off of your match, that is the invocation of your flame. That is you putting your energy into it, okay? It is very different. It has a very different feeling than lighting a match. Try it. Do it. Don't take my word for it. It is a very, you can get a book of matches for free at the bodega, at the corner store or a gas station, right? So, light your match with light your candle with a match and feel and sense that, and then light your candle with a lighter and see the difference. Feel the difference, okay? So when you light your candle and you have your spoon, what I want you to do is pay attention to the wick, okay? Pay attention to your wick. So you will notice your wick, and above your wick there is a clear cone shaped thing above your wick, right? That is wax being melted and being absorbed, okay, into the energy. It is being brought forth to your fire. Think about this, okay? Be very intentional when you're lighting your candle. Look. Oh my gosh. Don't lick the wick. Look at your wick, okay? So we are looking at the wick, and above the wick of every candle you will ever light, there will be a clear cone shaped thing around your wick, and you can see through it, right? That is the wax being absorbed and brought forth to the fire, okay? Let's think about this. This is an element of wax, a solid being brought forth to fire, because when you go up that flame, what is next? It's blue. Now that is where your fire begins. Understand that the blue part that you see up from the clear cone shape, that is where the fire initiates. That's where it starts. That's the hottest part of the flame, right? Now up from the blue part, there is the orange. That's the better part of your flame. Okay, that is the orangish yellow part. That's what we look at when we are doing, well, that's what many people look at when doing fire magic or candle magic. Okay, so what I want you to do is take your spoon, and what you are going to do while the candle is lit, you're going to take your spoon and dip it slightly into the clear cone shaped part up from the wick. Don't touch the wick. As much as you cannot, do not touch the wick. Okay, you just kind of want to dip your spoon into the tip of your spoon into that clear shaped part and bring it out. You will no doubt have wax on the tip of your spoon. Okay, so understand again, that is the solid being brought forth to the fire. Okay, because above that is that blue part. That's your fire. That's where the element of fire is beginning. That's where the chemical combustions are happening to make up fire. Okay, now wipe your spoon off. You got the wax on there. Wipe your spoon off. Pay attention to the wax. Of course, absolutely pay attention to the wax. Wipe your spoon off. Now up from there is the better part of your flame. It's the orangish yellow part of your flame. What I want you to do is take your spoon, and you don't have to hold it in that orangey yellowish part, but just go in there and do 1/1000. Take it out, look at it. There will be black soot on your spoon. Okay, no, it does not mean that your spoon is on fire or it has been burnt. Yes, it might have been scorched a bit. However, that is the soot from the wax that has caught on fire. So we're talking about a chain reaction, okay? We're talking about the wick, the clear cone, the wax being dissolved and being brought forth to that fire. That blue fire then sets that wax on fire, and it becomes the orangish yellow color. It is now caught on fire, which is the soot that will be on your spoon. Okay, wipe your spoon off. Now I want you to take your spoon and hover it over the very top of the wick. Don't touch, or the very top of the flame. okay? The very top of your flame. Don't touch your spoon on there, but just hover it over there, okay? 3 seconds, take it away. You will no doubt have moisture on your spoon because, again, what is the makeup? The chemical makeup of fire. The one component is water, right? So the last thing that I want you to do, if you have a strainer, okay? If you have a strainer, a tea strainer, a coffee strainer, and metal, of course, aluminum, you know, something that is not going to melt, right? What I want you to do is take your strainer. If you have the open sort of oval shaped at the bottom and it's open on the top, you know, I want you to take it, touch it to the top of the flame, okay? And just look down. Briefly look down into your flame, okay? Again, be very careful. If you have your, pull your hair back. Don't have anything on here that will, you know, be mindful of this, right? You want to look down into that, the filter. You want to look down into that strainer. Am I saying that right? It's a strainer, right? Like a tea strainer. So you want to look down in there and you will see that your flame is hollow. Many people think that the flame is throughout, okay? For lack of better words, many people think that the flame is solid. It's just, you know, solid fire. No, the flame is, it's almost like it's like a mini tornado of energy, okay? So when you put your strainer on there and you look down, you will see that you can see directly down to your wick, okay? Why are you doing this experiment? You are doing this to get acquainted with your fire. Again, when you are doing fire magic and candle magic, you are not dealing with whatever element it is or whatever tool it is that you are using when you're doing fire magic. Again, candle magic is a part of the entire system of fire magic. So you are not per se dealing with the wax, the color of the candle, the wick, the soot, right? You are dealing with the actual flame. That is what you want to control. That's what you want to invoke. That's what you want to be able to put your intentions into. Now, the second part of this video, I will talk very specifically about what color candles to use, things to anoint your candles with. I'll touch on the topic of lighting your candle with a match as opposed to a lighter or anything else, and different herbs that you can put on your candles, okay? But before you deep dive into, because a lot of people also ask me, you know, can you read the wax on my candle, or can you read the soot off of my candle? And it's like, you don't even have to wait for that. Okay, you don't have to wait for the outcome of the wax being melted if you understand how to read the flame, read your fire, become acquainted with your fire. We want to be practitioners in life. I don't know about you, but I am. If you're on my channel, I hope that you are a magician in your life. And beyond that, you must experiment, okay? So do this small experiment, and it will help you become better acquainted with the powerful element of fire. Another thing that you can do, and I've done this and it's hilarious, is if you have people come to your home, turn off, and at a particular time of the evening, let's say, you know, you have some friends over in the evening, turn off all of the lights and only have candles lit. People will be like, what are you doing? I know I'm a jokester like that, so I'll invite my mom over in the evening and I'll have like, well, I'll have all the lights off and I will have only candles lit. It's still light. Why are people, you know, it just invokes a different energy because there is a spirit behind fire. It is not the actual candle that they are looking at. They are looking at the lit room and it's only being illuminated because of the fire. Okay, folks? So try it out, okay? Don't take my word for it. Test it. Again, I've been doing candle magic for many years. It was the first type of magic that I ever did. I was just drawn to it, and I've done many experiments, many rituals, many spells behind candle magic, and I know what works for me, right? And the only way that I found out what works is I experimented, okay? So until next time, if you got any value out of this video, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I will be uploading quite a bit this week, and you do not want to miss it. I'll be talking about the winter solstice, New Year's, okay? Christmas, if you do not celebrate Christmas. And I actually had this conversation with someone, and they just didn't understand the energy behind Christmas. Do not get caught up in the names of things and miss out on magical times of the year, okay? The winter solstice and all of the holidays wrapped up in the winter solstice during these months are very magical times. It does not matter if you don't subscribe to, a religion, that religion, whatever it is, and I actually put this out in one of the groups that I was in, how a Christmas tree has everything in the world to do with your chakra system, okay? And the colors also. And people were like, what? Oh my God, I didn't know this. And, they actually cut out anything having to do with Christmas. You know what I mean? But understand that religious things that have been turned into holidays are magical, right? So do not miss the point. I'll be talking about how wreaths, yes, a wreath that you put on your door or in your home can act as a portal. You put your intentions into that portal and you can manifest anything that you want. How do I know this? Because I do it. I do it every year and it works. Okay, so until next time, the Occult Raven signing off.